Peace and welcome to a new week. We are now in the Six of Spades week this week, which started yesterday, November 3rd, and will go to Sunday, November, 9th? Yes. So, Six of Spades week, what do we know about the sixes? Well, they are cards or energies of fate, destiny, the law, universal law, karma, timing, and patience. Sixes can slow us down, and we have to have a lot of patience with this energy. So let me zoom in so we can actually see. I'll probably have to go up and down a little bit, but that's okay. So we can see where the Six of Spades sits on the plate, and then we're going to go through all of its cards in its life path. So again, I talked a little bit about how this is the strongest card of karma. This is the strongest card of fate. This is the strongest card of you get back what you put out, right? Sixes start at the top and they go back down and into themselves. So this is a very strong week of a reflection. And with the Six of Spades, it's one of the strongest cards of taking responsibility, accountability, because you get back what you put out, right? So where does the Six of Spades sit on the spread? Well, this is Neptune, and this is the Neptune row, and there is the Six of Spades. So it sits Neptune and it sits Uranus. So there is a deep underwater Neptunian kind of delusional energy that sometimes can happen with the Six of Spades. And then you add Uranus, it can be sudden, a breakthrough, out of the blue, unexpected type of energy, right? Now, when we look at the two cards that are in the same box, which is the supporting karma card, Two of Spades, and challenging karma card, Nine of Spades, what does that? So even the strongest, a lot of the other cards have different suits, but this Six of Spades has all spades as its karma cards. Two of Spades being a supportive karma card, partnerships, connections, relationships, they're coming from that energy, right? And we know when we look at the Six of Clubs, the Two of Diamonds is here. Look at the Two of Spades, the Six of Spades is here. Twos and sixes travel together because they're just mirrors. Relationships are a reflection of us. Our partnerships, our working relationships, all of them are a reflection of us. So this Six of Spades, having this Two of Spades as a supporting karma card, it is supported in its connections, but it's also, because the Nine of Spades is the energy it's kind of moving more towards, it has to let go of anything that is no longer serving us. So letting go of codependency, letting go of the need to control, and really learning how to surrender, really learning how to let go, to shed a skin, because when we release, it brings more maturity, more accountability. Because when we look at sixes and nines, they're just upside down of each other, right? A six is an upside down nine, a nine is an upside down six, however you want to look at it. So it is, and you will see a lot of times in spreads, in readings, sixes and nines travel together because even endings are fated. Even losses or leaving something or releasing something is also part of your destiny, part of your, alignment. So we're not only are we receiving, but we are also releasing. And again, this is why we surrender and allow and trust in the timing of things, the fate of things, etc. Now, their first card is their Mercury card, and it is the Queen of Hearts. So this can make them very sensitive, nurturing, mothering, very social even. Like the Queen of Hearts and Mercury can make you kind of like the belle of the ball, very good looking, very aesthetically pleasing even with the with the Queen of Hearts is Mercury. Also being of service is a part of this energy, mothering, but also not communicating with love. Sometimes you'll see the Six of Spades have some family dynamics and issues in the beginning part of their life because of this Queen of Hearts being here. And it does sit Neptune because the Queen of Hearts does. So sometimes the mother energy or the feminine energy can be a little bit delusional or even hard to reach, hard to accomplish at times. But, with this Queen of Hearts, there is this caregiving nature that you can sometimes find in that Six of Spades, or even being able to really trust the intuition is such a big part, because you'll also see sixes and queens travel together because that is the intuition. That is trusting what you feel, trusting what you know, trusting what you sense. And this being the Queen of Hearts, it's like they're the five senses for them are very strong, right? So now we're going to move up because as you see, there's nowhere else to go here. So we have to travel up. So they leave the Neptune row and make it all the way up into what we call the Sun row. So their Venus card is the 10 of clubs. Now, with the 10 of clubs in Venus, again, can have some good social success. They make really good teachers, coaches. They can take the complex information and kind of really simplify it. Now, having that queen and that 10 of clubs as like their first two interpersonal planets, there can be a strong desire for attention, right? Especially with queen energy and the 10 energy. It's like, look at me, I am here, I have shown up, all eyes on me. And with this 10 of clubs, there can be some overthinking, some insomnia. So that it's really good for the 6 of spades to kind of move their body, take really good care of their health, because this can sometimes show up as like, again, the overthinking, lots of thoughts, the mind doesn't turn off at times. So that it would be very good to be very physical. And we all, because this is the energy we all are collectively under this week, we may deal with some of that restless mind. So move your body, take really good care of your health this week, because I always say when the 6 of spades shows up, you're either going to be, if you have not been taking care of your health, you're going to get the results of that. If you have been taking care of your health, you're going to get the results of that. So you choose though. Now their Mars card is the 8 of diamonds. So this can make them very like their reward is to be consistent, to not give up. But since it's a 6 and it sits down there in that dreamy water of Neptune, they can be a little complacent and take their sweet time. But see, it shows when they really like nose to the grindstone or whatever that saying is, they can accomplish a lot. The 8 of diamonds in Mars makes them very business savvy, very persistent, very aggressive in pursuing financial resources, great at building strong businesses, financial opportunities, financial growth. They just have to be careful of because sometimes with the 8 of diamonds, there can be a little bit of a bossiness, a bullyish, aggressiveness, and it's their Mars card. So even more, right? But again, they're rising up to this sun. They're rising up to fame. They're rising up to recognition, but they have to put forth the effort to get this, right? To get that notoriety and that fame. Now, the 8 of diamonds on the low can be a little greedy, a little pushy, very sometimes, very aggressive in their pursuit of resources, financial abundance, etc. The other side of this is like grace. It's a lot of power. All you got to do is show up. People respond to this energy. It's a very strong card to have in Mars. Again, consistency, drive, ambitious, and business and financial opportunities is really where, they can shine. Now, their Jupiter card for life is the King of Spades. So, and that really does show when they really invoke the power of the King of Spades, they can have immense success because this requires mastery, wisdom. This is what, they really want to tap into with this King of Spades, because the more they realize God and them are co-creating their life, it's you and God and you're driving the ship, right? And you have a lot of power and a lot of opportunity to succeed, to really this is one of the strongest energies to have in Jupiter for success. It's very auspicious. So this week we all can really shine when we take accountability, when we really tap into the inner wisdom, the gift that this King of Spades can bring us. Now we know this is a fixed card. So the low side can be being stuck, being stubborn, not putting forth the effort. There can be that rigidness at times with the King of Spades, unable to move because it's a fixed card. But again, when you really invoke the power and the wisdom and the experience and the maturity that King of Spades will give you, you can really have an immense amount of success. Now, their Saturn card is the 3 of Hearts. This can sometimes bring some immaturity, right? Threes can be a little immature in nature, very playful. This can make them a little indecisive in relationships, how they feel about things, how they feel about people. They may teeter-totter on the fence in emotions, but ideally too, this is about tapping into that inner child, because there's a lot of spade energy, right? when we go back to the two of spades and the nine of spades and now this king of spades, sometimes it's okay to play. It's okay to create. It's okay to tap into that inner child and express yourself and have fun and just be more lightheartedness, trying to take away some of that seriousness that the spade energy naturally has. But this three of hearts also, being able to express themselves, being able to be open, being able to try new things, but it's in Saturn. So it may require a little bit more effort, a little bit more work, a little bit more discipline. And sometimes threes have a trouble with discipline. So it really is for this week for all of us and anybody who is a six of spades, like being disciplined in our emotions, our relationships, not, again, watch the side eye. Ooh, I like you and you and you. So and really making a decision, because that's sometimes the low side of the threes is they have a hard time like making that decision and going forth with the decision that they're trying to make. Their Uranus card is the Ace of Clubs. So they are like a forever student, constantly learning, constantly getting like downloads, maybe very curious, asking lots of questions, very inquisitive. And this is also very strong about trusting the inside voice, trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting those downloads, trusting the thoughts. This also can bring sudden and new opportunities that can really take you in a completely different way, a completely different direction. So be open, be flexible. Again, you may find like in the morning this week, you may have like these interesting downloads or things that may come to you. Like really sit with that, really like connect to that higher power and that really intuitive voice that's really trying to reach you and give you messages, right? So also can make them really good with computers, technology. We may have some technical issues this week. I know we have like Mars opposing Uranus, so just kind of be patient because things can kind of get a little wonky with that energy. Their Neptune card is the Queen of Clubs. So there is this, again, mothering, nurturing, great teachers, great intuition, their dreams. They have this desire to be of service, kind of like that Mother Mary energy, the mother to everybody. And again, they have their Mercury card is a Queen of Hearts that sits Neptune. And their Neptune card is the Queen of Clubs. So sometimes the feminine energy, really being able to tap into the intuition, can be either very strong or sometimes challenging to do. Now, sometimes you have to be mindful of like worrying with these, especially the Ace of Clubs and the Queen of Clubs. Sometimes like that spark could come with this Ace of Clubs, and next thing you know, they're worrying or they can overthink things. So just be mindful of that. This can be very visionary, very powerful. And again, being of service is such a big part of their path. Now, their Pluto card is the Ten of Spades. And if you know the Ten of Spades, they call it the workaholic card. So it really does show when the Six of Spades is willing to put forth the effort, they really can succeed. They can overcome obstacles. They can have immense success. Because when we look at the 10, what is it? The one, the I, the me, the self, and the zero, the higher self. So it really is them having to get out of any complacency, come out of the fog of Neptune and those deep waters that they're at the bottom of the plate, and really rise up and see that power that they have within them, because it's really just a reflection of them and the effort they're going to put in, the ambition, that how bad do you want it, and how hard are you willing to work at it? And that's a big part of that Ten of Spades. And that goes for all of us this week, because how bad do you want it? Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to put forth the effort? Are you willing to put forth the energy that it requires to achieve, to accomplish, and to expand? Because that is a big part of the tens, to increase, to expand. And again, dealing with audiences or groups of people, because they have a 10 in Venus and a 10 in Pluto, can sometimes be triggering and challenging, but they are here to kind of teach. They are here to kind of bring those opportunities. The reward card is the Five of Clubs. So it just shows that when they put forth the effort, really can open things up. It really can bring new and change and transition, because again, there can be that complacent, stuck, slower energy. But when they really put forth and they tap into that 10 of Spades and they put in the work, that Five of Clubs wants to give you more. Right? Kind of like a 3 wants to open you up, open up your mind, open up your thoughts, open up your beliefs, look at things from different perspectives, really. And again, that forever student, constantly learning new things, being exposed to new ideas, being exposed to new information, new ways of communicating, etc. Now, again, just be mindful because of all this club energy too. There can be some worry, some overthinking. And again, it would be really good for them to have and anybody this week, have a routine in fitness, movement, so we're not constantly going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs up here. And now their cosmic lesson is the three of diamonds. So what was their Saturn? A three. What is their cosmic lesson? A three. So again, kind of teetering, learning how to express, learning that creativity can also be a very therapeutic outlet for these sixes, looking to see their options. And sometimes it can be challenging to do that. Sometimes they can have maybe a tunnel vision, and they really, because that kind of goes to even the five of clubs and the three of diamonds. Be open, be willing to see things from different perspectives, be willing to, again, trust that instinct and pursue, follow through. They may try to take on too much and it can get overwhelming. So again, everybody this week, be mindful of trying to overdo it, over taking on too much, but really tap into your inner child, your inner creativity, express yourself, have a little fun. I'm always going to say that, y'all. Really enjoy, look at your options. Again, if one door shuts with these threes, another door can open. But if you're only set on it this way, you can miss, you may close mind and not see it from other perspectives, or be open to the experience that those threes can bring and the creativity that the threes can bring. Now, their cosmic moon is the Ace of Spades. And it kind of goes back to that self, right? Starts at the top and goes back down and into self. Well, what do we know about aces? Strongest energies of self. And emotionally, they may go through deaths and rebirths with this Ace of Spades being a cosmic moon. And when you look at the other moon card that sits behind them, a supporting card that pushes them, is a Six of Clubs. So there's that six and ace right back into self. So again, taking accountability, taking responsibility, and also kind of being very self-sufficient, having to maybe take care of themselves from a young age. And even this week, really having to nurture yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever it may be with this Ace of Spades. Also very intuitive, trusting yourself, trusting your emotions. That's a big part of that energy. And again, like I said, they can constantly go through deaths and rebirths, endings in relationships, and really seeing, instead of the ending, see the light at the end of the tunnel. It brings something new, a fresh start, but really going within, trusting themselves, listening to themselves. And again, probably having to nurture themselves, take care of themselves, mother themselves, and be really self-sufficient emotionally. And then their transformation card is the Seven of Hearts. And you'll see that too. Sixes and sevens are the strongest energies of you get back what you put out. So if you don't like what's showing up this week, you've got to check what you got going on inside rather than looking from the outside in. It's from the inside out. And with this Seven of Hearts, this is the card of spiritual love, unconditional love. So it's very important that they see themselves as the source. They see themselves as the plug of all the love, all the emotions. What people do or don't do should, not it doesn't determine your ability to have love, be love, give love, receive love, whatever you want to look at it from. And the Seven of Hearts is a very compassionate card, a very loving card. So they do really make great counselors, great intuitives when they really learn to trust themselves. So this week, that is what we are learning. We are learning about karma, fate, destiny, alignment, responsibility, accountability, and literally the universal law. You get back what you put out. So, but you always can adjust. Don't, you know what I mean? Remember, if you don't like what's showing up, you just have to change what you're putting out. That is the key of this energy. Take accountability for your own emotions, feelings, lack of, or whatever, and really go deep, go within, rid yourself of anything that doesn't serve you. Remember, the Nine of Spades is very strong with this because it's the challenging karma card. Surrender, flow, release, let go. It you know what I mean? We don't have to hold on. We don't have to stay stuck. So as we move through this week, have patience. Sixes are not fast moving energies. Sometimes we feel stuck. Sometimes we can get complacent, but a little bit, it's like baby steps. A little bit at a time can really produce good results, and don't beat yourself up. If everything is a disaster, just go more within, and you have the power to fix it. You have the power to change it. It just requires some adjustment. And this is a very strong, as sixes are, keeping the peace, compromising and being open to those adjustments. Again, being open, Five of Clubs, to change, which again can be sometimes challenging for the sixes. So I hope you enjoy this week. Pay attention to what's coming. Pay attention to what's leaving. It's all aligned. It's all fated. It's all destined. That's what the sixes teach us. And again, go within. It's key. Clean up the inside. Take care of your health. This is a great week to put forth the effort into your health, your work, your spirituality. It all will, you'll get this back. You know what I mean? It all comes back. Whatever you're doing is going to come right back to you. So pay attention, have patience, give lots of love. And as always, I'm going to say, go have some fun. I hope you enjoyed this Six of Spades week, and I will see you next time for the Seven of Spades week. Peace.